It doesn't seem like that long ago, and yet forever ago, that the best way to know if a business could be trusted was to just ask around. Although even for well-connected people, it might be hard to find even 1 or 2 reviews of a restaurant, accounting firm, or primary care provider that you truly trusted. Those days are obviously long gone, and now anyone can see hundreds of more or less authoritative opinions on everything from multiple different websites. As you're probably aware, not all these reviews are, shall we say, nuanced. In fact, some are outright spiteful and harmful to professionals' careers. This is where reputation management becomes important in today's medical marketing services. Handling negative reviews ensures people with bad experiences receive the proper customer service, and your reputation as a medical provider stays intact. In addition, curating and responding to reviews allows you to confirm and celebrate great experiences, encouraging those people to come back for more of what you offer.
You're listening to the Limelight podcast, DLM's way of keeping you informed of the latest medical marketing news and insights. Here you'll find expert opinions, real-world situations, and personal stories that will help your practice grow. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
To help me talk about reputation management, I'm happy to be joined by Molly, one of the marketing specialists here at DLM, who encounters some pretty out there reviews and helps our clients manage them. Hi, Molly. How's it going?
Hi, Jeff. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, so let's break this down. There's a lot of words and terms in our title for this episode today, so I'd like just if I can have you walk through each one and just briefly describe it. So we can start with gaining authority. What does that mean?
Yeah, so for me, gaining authority, there's kind of 2 different meanings that I look at. So one being more technical. So, if you have a website that has a lot of authority, it's been around for a long time, has really good content, it's really strong SEO-wise, then if it's connected to your website, then it's going to transfer some of that authority to you, which is super beneficial. And then there's the authority that's kind of face-to-face or in person. Word of mouth is a good way to put it. So it's just kind of a way to gain trust through people that are going to hear about your website, hear about your brand, and then it's just going to show more authority for that. And they're going to be more likely to come visit and talk even more about your company or your brand as well. So it's kind of, there's 2 different ways to look at gaining authority.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now let's talk about local organic. That's kind of a term that means that overlaps a little bit, but how would you describe that to somebody?
Yeah, so local organic, I look at it kind of from SEO. So local would be, you're showing up for words that are local to where you are geographically. So city names and places where you're located. And then organic would be you're showing up just based on the content and what you have to offer on your website. You're not paying for any spots on Google search results. So you're showing up for people in your area that are searching for what you have to offer.
Which is obviously super important. So finally, reputation management, what does that mean?
Yeah, so reputation management is just kind of a way that you can manage how your practice is viewed by the public. So you just want to make sure that, if you get a bad review, you are responding to that appropriately so that you're maintaining a good reputation and that people can see that, online and in person.
Yeah. And, think about the 5-star rating system. That is crucial to anyone's online presence, even medical practices online
Absolutely.
today. That's great. Thanks. I hope that people who are a little overwhelmed with the length of the title and the number of just SEO sounding terms will feel a little bit more confident as we dive deeper into the practical steps of actually gaining authority in local organic results through the best practices of reputation management. So let's start with local organic search results. What do you think is the bare minimum a practice should have with their local profile and content on their website, and what's maybe more recommended for a better, more active profile or authority, in your opinion?
Yeah, so I would say the bare minimum would be where you're located, what you offer, your hours, just basic information about you is probably going to be enough to rank locally based on your website content. But then for more advanced practices, you're going to want a lot of really good backlinks, I'd say, to other physician profiles, because those websites are obviously going to transfer their authority to yours. And then obviously you want a super good Google My Business profile, because that's kind of a way of skipping a line in search results because it's going to show up. So people that are looking up, local places and you show up in the Google business, that's kind of like a huge light flashing to click on yours. So
yeah, it's literally, it takes up part of your screen. I mean, whether you're on mobile or a desktop, it's huge. It's a big presence. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it's a super easy way to optimize in order to help your local organic rankings.
So you did mention Google My Business. So just in case people, it's kind of a hard to say name. It's not the most eloquent phrasing, but can you just explain that really quickly for people who may be just starting out with SEO and with analytics and stuff like that? What is Google My Business?
So yeah, your Google My Business profile, it's kind of Google's way of showing your business and all of the information about it and photos about it. It's kind of like a one-stop shop for where you are on maps, your reviews, your information, your hours. And this is it's that little box that shows up when you search like a business name. It shows up on the right-hand side. And they're super helpful for users because there's those buttons that say like directions, website, call.
Right.
So it's extremely user-friendly, and that's why you want it to be the best that it can be for people. And you want it to be updated always so that Google knows that you have good authority and that you should show up for these set keywords.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So we've got a view of, I guess I would say, the tip of the iceberg. So we're going to start going deeper and figuring out what people can do to influence that profile, that all important local profile, make it stronger. We'll be back in just a second.
Take control of your online reputation with DLM Review, a comprehensive review collection and response tool built into DLM Insight. With DLM Review, you can gather reviews from across the web and manage them in a centralized location. Respond privately to negative reviews and proudly showcase satisfied customers on your website to drive more patients to your practice. Learn more about DLM Review by contacting a DLM marketing specialist today.
All right, Molly, I'm going to try to not interrupt as I give you 5 minutes or so to dive deep into what practices can do to increase their authority and encourage potential patients to pick their practice over the competition. So I guess more specific question would be, how can you manage reviews to increase your authority?
I mean, obviously managing reviews is super important for authority for both reasons that I mentioned previously, for online presence and for kind of your reputation in person. So in terms of reviews, there's a lot of different things you can do. I would think the first thing is obviously you want to send out these reviews regularly and in a timely manner, these review requests. So you want to be asking people to leave reviews, not immediately, because you don't want them really to leave them at the practice, but I mean, not months down the line either, to where they have forgotten what their experience was. But you just want to make sure that you're sending them out regularly and timely. And these review requests that you can send out, I mean, you can customize them however you want to. I think a really good way to do it too is to refer to them by name, make sure that the subject line is inviting so that they're more enticed to leave a review and say good things about your practice. So I think that's kind of step number one. And then you definitely want to make sure that these review requests can come in from a lot of different websites. Also kind of referring back to what I said, a lot of different websites like, I guess, Health Grades, obviously Google, Yelp, they're gonna transfer a lot of authority if you're sharing those reviews back onto your own site. So it's just super important to make sure that you're getting reviews from a lot of different sources and platforms. So that's another good thing to do in order to increase your authority and manage your reviews. I also think that it's good to have these reviews, like I just kind of mentioned, on your website in any way. So I know that we have a platform here called DLM Review, where we have it located in the footer, the stars of your ratings from whatever sources a client has chosen. And then we have like a feed, a running feed. So of all of the reviews and the names and what they said and the rating that they gave. So that's super important to have because it's showing that authority, not only in terms of updating your website and getting authority back from wherever the review is left, but also just people that are coming on your website, they're going to want to see what other patients' experiences were. So that's super important. And there's other technical things with DLM Review that help. So there's things called schema code. They show up in the search results, the 5 stars at the bottom of your listing, everything like that. But I mean, at its core, it really is just a way to show that your practices worked for so many people and the things that you offer has left patients satisfied. So that's just a really good way to increase authority. And then also, if you do get a bad review, it's super important to make sure that you're responding to that appropriately. You never want to just delete a bad review unless obviously it's for something wrong. I mean, you need to show people that you have taken the advice and that you can respond to that. And if it was false, how can you respond and show your authority yet again? So it's always an opportunity to do that. And then obviously you can respond to good reviews. You don't want these to sound too automated. Like, you don't want it to all be the same thing. I mean, I'm sure you've seen that. I mean, online shopping or whatever.
Yep.
It's like, thank you for your review. If you make it, refer to them by name, say thank you so much. We can't wait to see you again. You can really leverage reviews and review replies to your advantage. And along the way, you're kind of showing that your practice it's trustworthy, it has authority, and it's worthwhile to visit. So I don't know if that was 5 minutes, but that's my answer.
I think one thing that stuck out to me is right at the end here, as you're telling me about responding to reviews, is that responding to reviews, yes, it's about responding to one person's experience, whether it was really great or really terrible or false, like you said. So you're responding to that person and you're handling that situation, but you're also responding to anyone else who might be seeing that review in the future. That could be tens, hundreds of people even.
Yeah.
And so taking that time, like you said, not automated necessarily, although there are some good ways to use automation to make it seem personal if you have a large volume of things. But for the medium-sized practices, responding to reviews is something you can handle for the most part on your own with your front office staff. And like I said, just touches both that person very particularly and also many others.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen it as a consumer myself. Reviews are one of the first things that I check no matter what I'm online for. So I definitely stand by the fact that it's important to really use these to your advantage.
Well, I think that was a great way to explain that. I think it's really valuable information, and I'm glad you're here to share with us. So thank you, Molly.
Yeah, thank you so much. I had fun.
Our call-in question today actually comes from me because I wonder about this every time we mention reputation management. And it might be more of an opinion, but I always wonder, is it ethical to manipulate a physician's review profile and kind of make it artificially 100% 5 out of 5 stars every time? Molly, what do you have to think about that?
Personally, I do not think this is ethical just from a consumer standpoint, especially with a physician. I mean, you want to go to someone that you trust and that people have shown is a good physician to visit. And I've even for like online shopping for clothes, I don't want to be influenced by false reviews or be manipulated at all as a consumer. I think there's tasteful ways you can do it. I don't want to say manipulate, but you can kind of alter the view that you're given and the perspective that you're showing. But I don't think in any way you should make it 100% artificially 5 out of 5 stars. And even personally, I'll say when I see 5 out of 5 stars on Google reviews or any reviews for that matter, I kind of get a little put off by that because it's almost too good to be true. So no, I don't think it's ethical. And I also don't really think it's a good idea to do so if you do believe it's ethical. So that's my answer.
Yeah, no, and I think I fully agree with you that, I get very skeptical or I'm looking and seeing there's only 2 reviews. So how good can this restaurant actually be if there's only 2 people who have actually taken the time to review it? I think there's probably, like you said, there's an organic way to do it where hopefully you've got, enough patients who are submitting reviews that they might not be all 5 stars. They might not be the most excellent, unbelievable experience. But if they're 3 to 4, don't delete them. Respond to them. Say, we're glad you had an okay time. We're sorry it couldn't be excellent. Let us know what we can do to make it more excellent.
Yeah. That holds so much more weight to me than a 5-star review with no words that I don't know is true or not. So
that's great. All right. Thank you very much, Molly.
Yeah, thanks.
That's all for today's installment of the Limelight podcast. Join us next time for more marketing insights and expert advice brought to you by the team at DLM. As always, we'd love to hear your questions and thoughts, which you can always send to info@dlmconversion.com or drop us a line on our website, dlmconversion.com. We hope you'll listen again soon. Thanks.